Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. It seems like at least their Bild reports, that's a German important newspaper, reports that the West told Ukraine, according to them, that if you guys are not able to liberate your occupied territories from Russia by fall, by autumn, then you will probably have to talk with the bad guy if he's still in power, which is Putin. So either our attempt is going to be, until summer. Nothing happens by summer. That's it. So it seems like they gave the Ukrainians a deadline and themselves a deadline, which says we are supporting you as long as it takes until fall shows up around the corner. Why? I don't think they are able to withstand another winter. That's one. The other one, the economies are not going up, but on the contrary. And I don't think they are able to economically, not maybe able, willing, because they are able. It's just that they switch from a peace economy or industry, peace economy to a war economy, and that's it. The people will have nothing. But they will be happy, remember Klaus Schwab. So let's see what this article says. This article comes from Russia Today. It is from 27th of February 2023. West considers peace talks deadline for Ukraine, Bild. Kiev has until autumn to retake territory seized by Russia, or the West will pressure it into talks with Moscow, Bild claims. Look at that weasel. Embarrassing with that bullshit coming here, and these guys could not forcefully undress him in the dark and get him dressed normal like that. That's so disrespectful. But hey, he takes a shit in your soup bowl and you're eating it. Good job. Ukraine's Western backers are considering the imposition of an ultimatum on Kiev in relation to potential talks with Moscow, German tabloid Bild reported on Monday, citing anonymous government sources in Washington and Berlin. With new arms supplies, the US and its allies want to provide Kiev with an, I'm quoting, incentive to try and recapture territory seized by the Russian forces, Bild claimed, adding that the West wants to see results in this respect by the fall. And I'm quoting, should the counteroffensive fail, the pressure on Kiev to negotiate with the Kremlin will increase, end quote, the paper reported. I think so, unless these guys are just gonna damage our societies forever, or at least for a long time, until some normal person gets in business and takes care of the special interests. Earlier, the Wall Street Journal reported that the UK, France, and Germany had allegedly offered Kiev weapons and security commitments under a plan aimed to pushing Kiev to negotiate with Moscow. I don't think so, because if you don't see among these three the USA, then this is zero. Okay? The US media outlet claimed last week that London, Berlin, and Paris were supposedly ready to offer security guarantees just short of NATO membership. Well, again, they talk about certain things that they have no control over. Hey, where is Washington? Do you see here the word Washington here? I see it somewhere else, but it's not related with this little statement. According to Bild, however, the conditions were not that generous. For whom? Okay, let's quote here. The Europeans and the US cannot and do not want to provide Ukraine with hard security guarantees such as NATO membership at the moment, German MP Norbert Röttger, who previously headed the Bundestag's Foreign Affairs Committee, told the tabloid. So, see here, when you have this, then you might have something. If this is not there, you have nothing. Just take that to the bank, that statement, right here. So now you have it in this, so you say, okay, might be true. These weasels here, nothing, zero. Loser, loser, loser. The winners are not here, okay? Poor guy has to deal with this. All right, hey, change that, smells, Jesus Christ. Take a shower once in a while. The German Chancellor's office also said on Sunday that potential NATO security guarantees played no role at all in the discussions between the three bloc members? Of course, because they have no power. Obviously, Berlin, London, and Paris, no power on NATO. NATO is not your organization. You're part of it because those guys want you in, so it shows the number. Oh, we're not going to blow up Iraq alone. We're going to be in a coalition. Oh, we're not going to bombard unilaterally Yugoslavia in 1999. We're a coalition of NATO states, including Canada and others. You know what I mean? Canada is also NATO, but just mention it because it seems like they want to play a military and important global role lately with this communist, what's his name, Trudeau. French President Emmanuel Macron and the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, which are in the 30s with their approval rating. These leaders of democratic countries, in the 30s. So they don't lead, quote unquote, by a majority. They lead by a fringe minority, right? What's your name? Trudeau? Right. So these two encourage Ukrainian President President of Ukraine, what Ukrainian? What are you talking about? Vladimir Zelensky to engage in talks with Moscow earlier in February, according to media reports. NATO Secretary Jens Stoltenberg, just a figurehead over there. He has no authority over NATO, just so you know. If you want to see that, just watch that video when what's his name, then President Trump showed up and got this guy by his little dingy-lingy and squished it with two fingers and said, what are you talking about, Stoltenberg? Without me, you are nothing. Previously admitted that Moscow was winning the logistical war of attrition. He also said it was unclear how much the bloc could spend on further military support for Kiev. Last week, the Russian Foreign Ministry set out its conditions for a diplomatic solution to the conflict. The list included the West halting military aid to Kiev, as well as Ukraine returning to its neutral status after being demilitarized and denazified. Zelensky rejected any negotiations with Moscow by saying there was nothing to talk about and nobody to talk with. Okay, well, the bombs are still going to fly, unfortunately, and since you are the darling of these guys who push you and you are a so important guy, why would you want to be not important all of a sudden? So this guy, I think he just doesn't want to just go into the sunset with his I would have a gut feeling as a multi-million dollar individual, if not billionaire, but we'll find out. And then we find out after you can't do anything about it. Oh, no. It's just, blah, blah, blah. We'll find out. So why would he want to be unimportant all of a sudden when he's in the middle of the... Ukraine is the catastrophe of the planet right now. We made it like he's the hero. Why would he want all of a sudden to become a past tense instead of a present continuous? Anyway, so thank you very much for being with me again today. I don't really think that the three countries mentioned will put any pressure or are able to put any pressure because this is US's boy, as they are the US's little servants / plantation sugarcane slaves. That's how I see them. No, that's how their behavior makes me see them. It's not like, oh, I wake up and I want to see them that way. Their behavior, slavish. Now, I think that's very possible. Possible, I would give it 99%. Probable, I would give it 90%. That these guys will say by before winter sets in, cut the shit, we're done, move on, nice try. Next one is going to be, Georgia or some other little weasel countries. We're going to try later after we lick our wounds. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.